So you guys have scared this mutated bugbear back into the corner.
Yeah.
I didn't. I spent the entire time in a hole.
That's true. What's
Lucius
next?
peers around the corner at it.
He's back there, still shielding his eyes from the light.
How sober is Gus now?
I wasn't drunk. I need to be.
Can you talk to him, Lucius? Do you understand him?
I can understand what he's saying. I can't.
Now, does the chain continue through him into the next room or anywhere, or does it just end with him?
It ends at his foot. It's pierced through the leg above his ankle, and then underneath that is an iron clasp around the base of his foot.
Gus is going to look at this bugbear, and he's going to hand Alexander his spear so that the light is not there, and he's going to walk over, and he's going to try it. He's going to very gingerly.
You get that close to it, he's going to start swinging at you.
Like I've got both my hands up, and I'm saying soothing words
that he doesn't understand because he's a bugbear.
Right. I'm just making soothing sounds.
All right, so we'll come back on initiative at Gustavus' turn.
Okay. All right. I'm going to go. I'm going to go down, and I'm going to I want to take the chain off of him. It's my end goal.
Make a medicine check as your action this turn.
That is a 15, I believe.
A what team? Remember, this is a disadvantage because you're exhausted.
Oh, okay. I didn't remember that, but yeah.
That's why I reminded you.
So it's 14.
Okay.
I actually rolled better.
Looking at this creature's foot, you would not be surprised to find out this creature's foot is useless. It's got this rusty metal rod going directly through its leg above its ankle, but there's no blood. The wound is long since closed over, and the way that the clasp around his actual foot is squeezing the foot and biting into it, making the skin around it purplish red and agitated. All the fur around there has fallen out. It looks as though this thing was clasped when it was smaller and then grew into it. So its whole foot is just wretched and cramped, and there's no obvious way to remove the chain.
Okay. And Gus is gonna be kind of do a hold off motion on everybody else. I'm expecting to get hit.
Oh yeah, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
It's my bugbear's turn, so he's gonna slaughter you with his claw. I have a 13 to hit.
Not gonna do it, Chief.
As it lashes out with its clawed arm, this arm that ends in this giant crab claw. This just bizarre, twisted, and mutated, like the place where the flesh and fur end and the chitinous exoskeleton of the claw begin. It's the stuff of nightmares. You're going to have nightmares. And he misses.
Uh-huh.
What's everybody else doing while Gus is having words with his new friend?
Lucius is going to keep an eye down the hallway for anything that might be approaching.
So down this hallway here?
Yep.
It's not very long. And again, it's a mortared hallway. It's man-made. What's your passive perception? Remember to remove 5 because you're looking in dim light.
5, I think.
It's 5? Okay. So yeah, the hallway goes down a little bit and then turns to the right.
More crabs.
I'm going to send Tony down the hallway with his little pebble.
Okay.
His passive perception is 14.
Tony notices a metal slat kind of hinged in the wall right here. That's not a drawing implement that I want. There we go.
There we go.
I found out you can actually make the bigger.
I'm going to make this a different color so it shows up better.
Is it like a panel on the wall, or is it something he can land on?
It's down at the ground. He's not going to be able to land on it. It's hinged at the top, and it's maybe 3 foot square, perhaps.
Does it look like a trapdoor?
It does, except it's in the wall, not the floor.
Okay.
And I guess it brings us back around to Gus, unless Alex or Lucius or Florian are doing anything.
I wanted to inspect the room.
Okay, and there's just not a lot to see in this room. Knowing what you know now about the creature, you can see it's designed to be an imprisonment chamber.
Mm-hmm.
But other than the broken pallet and then the one he was laying on, there's nothing left to see here.
Okay.
Florian is just staring at this bugbear, fascinated.
Okay. Gus, beat him up?
No, I'm going to try. How thick is this chain?
Pretty thick, but with a good enough whack, depending on what you use, you might be able to split one of the links.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to try my... I'll try my hammer one round, and if not, then I guess somebody does...
Gus, back off first.
Yeah.
I see what you're trying to do.
Yeah. Gus is going to... In that case... Hold on. Gus is going to grapple the bugbear.
Okay.
What?
That's the opposite of what he asked
No,
you to do.
just back off.
No. Well, I was going to do it so that when you got close... Okay, I'll back off.
Okay, so where do you move to?
I'm not gonna leave this man. I'm gonna just move here.
Okay.
And I'm again still making noises, like soothing noises as a man in heavy armor.
Yeah, he's
Soothing Gus noises.
terrified. You don't...
Soothing Gus noises.
Is
DGIA.
the bugbear still attacking Gus?
He sure is. He's about to. What are you doing, Alex? Technically, it's your turn.
I'm
Depends on all the
gonna
turns at
use
once.
my action to dodge.
Okay, Alex.
Smart.
Well, I was going to try and eat through the chain with some acid, but I'd really like Gus to get away from the bugbear before I start working on that.
Looks like that's not happening.
Yeah, I know.
He is dodging, though.
This guy can't hurt me. I'm fine. I'm fine. It'd just be a love tap.
So doing nothing, Alex?
Like you're
Yeah, I'm
literally
going to
not-
wait.
I
No,
literally
yeah,
did.
fire,
I
fire.
literally did not hit the chain with my hammer because you said you were going to do something.
Alex. Not
Yep.
Alex. Gus.
Mm-hmm.
I have a 14 to hit.
That does not hit. You're going to do better than that, Chief.
Lashing out with his claw, trying to get a hold of you.
Gus, get over here.
Just so we're clear, the arm itself is actually a crab
Yes.
claw.
His arm has been twisted and mutated around, and no longer does he have a bugbear's claw at the end. It's a giant crab's claw.
Okay.
The same coloration as the ones you've been seeing, but obviously much larger.
Yeah.
Gus, what are you doing?
All right. He's going to take another attack.
Yes, he is.
The magic word that starts with a D before you ask to leave someone's threatened area?
Yeah, I know. They're still thinking if I want to just try and hit the chain. Yeah, I'm gonna just disengage.
Okay. You step away.
Alright, Gus, hold the chain out of the muck and help me clean it off.
Okay, well in that case I'll have moved this way.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'm going to pour a vial of acid onto the chain.
Roll
Looks like
damage.
I have a nice clean link. Roll the damage?
Yeah.
That would be 6 acid damage.
Okay. And it dissolves most of the way through the link. If you had another vial like that, you'd be able to bite all the way through it, or it's considerably weaker
I think at
now.
this point, yeah. Go for it, Gus.
Okay. When it's my turn, I'll try and snap it in half.
Do we think this is a good idea?
Gus apparently
He's-
does.
He's look at him. And I'll just point at the bugbear over the
We
corner.
can handle
behind.
this. It'll be fine. We'll be able to do something with him. I don't know what.
Gus, roll to hit.
Uh, 17 to hit.
That hits. Roll some damage.
That is 9 bludgeoning damage.
Okay. I have to consult my map. And you split the link in the chain, and as soon as you do, it snakes out from under you as he retreats further back into this corner. So the link is broken, but it still grasps either the link on either side. And he's now dragged it away from you in an effort to get further away from you back in this corner. And he still looks terrified.
So wait,
He can be-
the link is broken, but the two pieces of the chain haven't been separated? Is that what you...
Yep.
Okay.
You'd have to actually get down there with your hand and wrench them free.
Yeah. Well, but he's got like a piece of chain on now, right? It's not just the whole chain.
After you go down and manipulate the broken link, he'll have maybe 10 or 12 feet of chain that he's dragging
Right.
around.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah, I'll be doing that.
Okay? And he doesn't seem to notice that he's free. What do you do next?
That's all I wanted to do.
Okay.
Seeker is going to let him know. Seeker will walk up, throw his arms wide, and say, "We have used our mighty powers to free you."
Our rates are reasonable.
Speaking in common.
Yeah.
Make an insight check.
All right. That is a 12.
12. You can tell that he doesn't understand common very well. He doesn't know what you've told him.
All right. And I'll just put my hands out and then say again, "You're," and pointing at him, "free." And point out the door.
Do the crabs in this area? No, don't send him out there. They'll kill him.
Well, I'm not going to leave him in here.
No, I don't think we should either. I just don't know what to do with them.
Shrug.
Are the crabs that we killed in here, do they also have faces on their shells?
Those of them that still have shells, a couple of their shells are split beyond recognition. But yeah, when you hunt down and look at the ones that are left, same deal as the previous ones. What's next?
I think we find this halfling and see who chained him down here.
I am done with my shenanigans.
I'm glad you're done with your shenanigans.
Right. I'm just saying for
Lucius.
purposes of...
Lucius is still keeping an eye on Tony down here, I guess.
Okay.
I don't expect he's going to try and leave this area, so...
Yeah, there's like a little hatch sort of thing in the wall down here that we could come take a look at.
How beaten up are you, Lucius?
Pretty beaten up.
Like, beaten enough that up enough that it would be worth throwing a cure at you?
Oh yeah.
Go ahead and take, there we go.
Ooh.
Hey,
13 hit points back.
didn't need to hit me that hard, but okay.
Alright, don't take any hit points back, then.
I mean, I'm missing a hit point.
Well, it's a shame that I'm out of spells now, so...
The good news is, looking down this hallway, it does seem like the grade is going slightly upwards to the point where there's no more water in the area. You do see some muddy boot prints moving back and forth through the hallway. Too big to be a halfling's boots.
Hey, do you want to go... Who wants to go first? Do you want
Someone
me to
with
go
a
first?
spear to poke into the muck?
There's no
Yeah.
more muck here, just the boot prints.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll take my spear back, by the way.
I'm going to stay in the back, because I'm still pretty beaten up.
So we've cut loose this bugbear,
Mm-hmm.
Right,
and now we're just moving on.
right.
Uh-huh.
This childlike...
Listen, I'm not talking to it.
Do you have a... I mean, I'd love to hear your thoughts on what we should do with him, Florian. Because I don't have a good
Well,
idea.
My thought was to leave him as is, or maybe even put him out of his misery. But I'm sure this is fine too.
That's kind of dark.
I mean, maybe he can go live on the farm with that guy from the last campaign and the lady that just got out of jail.
She got out for good behavior.
Sorry.
What's next?
Again, does anybody have any complaints about me going first?
No.
No,
Okay.
that's what I want.
Gus, regular trapdoor. No, you're fine.
Tony hops up on Gus' shoulder.
Coming around this corner, you have another hallway that turns off to the left, but there's also a doorway. You actually see a rotted wooden door frame set into the wall on the right-hand side down here. And you can partially see into the open room beyond.
Do we
Gus,
want to... Yeah.
Let's check out this hatch.
I was just stepping one forward so somebody else could do it.
Yeah.
Because I'm not,
I'll investigate the hatch.
Okay. And it's a metal hatch. It's not rusty like the other metal implements you've seen in here. It's much newer. Yeah, it's hinged at the top, and you can kind of pull it up. And when you do,
I'll do that.
when you do, you look inside and you see a tunnel that looks freshly mined. Every I don't know, 2 or 3 feet or so along the left-hand wall of the tunnel, you see a metal spike that ends in a circular loop has been hammered into the wall every 2 or 3 feet or so. And it extends out beyond the range of your dark vision.
Like a ladder?
No, forward.
Oh, so it's horizontal, not vertical.
Correct.
It's like
Okay.
pittons, or like longer than a pitten, or
It's difficult to say because they've been hammered into the stone, but it has a metal loop at the end of each one. You can stick your finger in it, but you can't actually pull it out because it's been hammered into the stone here. There'd be no reason to hammer a climbing spike in the wall. This doesn't, unless gravity gets inverted somehow 90 degrees in the other direction.
So this room with the bugbear is the first like manufactured room, right? It's like stonework.
Yeah, if you don't count the hallway leading up to him.
Right, including the hallway, like this area. So as an archaeologist,
Mhm.
I have an ability that I can, when I enter a ruin or dungeon, I can correctly ascertain its original purpose and builders, whether they were dwarves, humans, elves, Yuan-ti, etc.
Okay.
So who do I think built this from my wide knowledge of archaeology?
Almost certainly humans.
Mhm.
Just considering humans have lived here for thousands of years.
Okay.
Its original purpose might have been a series of cellars.
Well, like back when Broken Wall was maybe still part of the city at large, not the kind of abandoned status it has now.
Perhaps.
Okay.
So these things in the wall, they don't make any sense to be climbing spikes positioned how they are.
Right.
But imagine they were positioned correctly. Would it make sense that they were... Do they look like climbing spikes is
No.
what I'm asking.
Because these end in a metal loop that you can
Okay.
slip your finger into.
Do they look like? Is it just like a straight round, like perfectly round, or is it like octagonal, like something slides in there?
Alright, you can split the difference. I'm not going to say it's perfectly round within an atom's width, but there's lots of
Alright.
things you could slide in there. What are you thinking of?
I was just wondering if it's obvious that something goes in there, like there's a piece missing. Is all.
No, it doesn't look like there was a piece missing. It looks like they're manufactured this way.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
there's like a series of them, right? Like,
Oh, yep, every 2 or 3 feet on the left-hand side of this tunnel. And to be
You
clear,
wanna
those of you who are not gnomes would have to get on your hands and knees and crawl through this tunnel.
So
does it look like something that you'd like thread like string through, or like is it wider than that?
It's much wider than string, but you could probably slip a thin rope through them.
So, Seeker, do you think Tony could fly through this hole?
No.
Tony could hop through this hole. Tony has, I think, a 10-foot wingspan or 8 foot or something.
But it's probably smaller than that. He's tiny.
Okay.
But I'm going to try threading a rope through the hole of one of these pythons and try pulling it out.
Okay. It takes some work because the rope you're using like regular climbing rope.
Yeah.
And it's a little too thick for the hole, but you squeeze one in and with some wrenching and twisting, you manage to squeeze the rope through, pull it through the loop, and give me a strength check, just straight up strength.
I'll assist.
I'll assist you.
There's not really spots for 2 people to get.
I will
leverage
just
in this
hand the
tunnel.
rope to you.
You're rolling at disadvantage because you're exhausted.
He's still better off than I am.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Is this that straight strength?
Just straight strength.
All right, that is 18.
An 18. There's not a lot of space to get leverage from, so you kind of wrench your butt into the bottom of this tunnel and brace your feet against the wall on either side of this spike. Loop the rope through around your wrists and give it a good tug. And it does have some give. And you manage to slide it back and forth, left, then right, then left, then right. And manage to work it. And when you get it out of the wall, it's about a good foot long. And it ends at a point. And the top of the loop that your rope is through is flat and broader than most of the rest of the spike. Perfect for you to hammer it in with. And now there's a gaping nail hole in the wall where you pulled the spike out of.
Awesome. Here you go, Seeker.
So 1 down.
Is there anything in the hole? Like, Like, it kind of does look like a nail. Does it look like anything has been nailed in by it?
Nope. The hole. I mean, it's just a hole in the wall now.
What the hell?
That wasn't there
Somebody's
before this spike got nailed in there.
Somebody's gonna be very upset when they come back. We have vandalized their tunnel.
Maybe I broke a circuit or something. I don't know.
Okay, roll initiative.
Okay.
Oh, who has the electrical engineering degree this campaign?
It'd still probably be you.
All right.
Secret.
So right now, Gus, you are physically in the hole.
Okay.
You would have to be because you just pulled this spike out of the wall. Seeker is surprised. Gus, echoing out from the tunnel, from off in the distance. Do you have dark vision?
Yeah,
60 feet?
60 feet, yeah.
So further away than you can see. But you hear a loud, shrill squeal echoing off. And then the sound of something hard hitting the rocks very, very quickly and moving in your direction.
Okay.
Florian, you're surprised. Lucius, you're surprised, but you've got 120 feet of dark vision yet.
Yep.
How familiar is Lucius with, like, a pig? I know the Udocs have farms and stuff, but I'm sure were you out there mucking out stables or whatever?
Absolutely not.
Okay. So fair to say you've never seen a pig charge before.
No, I have not.
And you've certainly never seen a halfling charge as though he were a pig. Because that's what you see at the end of your dark vision, is this halfling barreling down the tunnels on all fours. And not sticking to the floor either. He's going up on both walls and the ceiling and racing at Gustavus extremely fast. Gus, you are surprised. Alex is surprised. That brings us back to Seeker.
I am going to... I don't want to just take this halfling out. That's no way to live my life.
He's a good 100 feet down this tunnel, though. So unless you have that much dark vision, you can't see him coming anyway.
Yeah, I don't. But I hear him coming.
Oh, yeah. It's like a halfling-sized freight train clattering down the tunnel.
I am going to cast Minor Illusion.
Okay.
Because I hear something coming down the thing. I'm just going to make the sound of Gronk roaring near the hole, try to frighten it off.
Like right here where you guys are standing?
Yeah. Echoing down that tunnel.
Make
basically.
a deception check at advantage.
That is a 20.
A 20. The clattering in the tunnel doesn't stop or slow down, but you hear a voice ring out in between the squeals that just cries out, "Grunk, get punished!" And when that happens, you hear Gronk in the previous room start to wail. Seeker, are you moving or staying put?
Me and Tony are good back here.
All right.
Backing up a little bit.
Gustavus, this creature moves towards you and dashes towards you. So it clears a good 60 feet this round, and it's got another 50 or 60 feet to go. So if you're still sitting here next round, probably this terrible halfling creature is going to be on top of you. And that's going to bring us to Florian.
Close the hole.
I'm in the hole!
Goodbye, Gus. Goodbye, Gus.
Dear Curio Fireball. This is really weird, man. Florian is going to go over here and just observe the bugbear.
The bugbear is now back in this corner again.
Mm-hmm.
Are you using an action to observe him?
Yes.
Make an insight check.
Okay.
Is this your light in this room? Yeah, because you guys dropped a pebble or something in there, as I recall.
That is an 18.
The bugbear does not seem to have noticed that the chain is gone from his foot. He's still dragging some length of chain around. And he still looks terrified. As the creature in the hole yells about him being punished, he's now kind of kneeling back in a corner, holding his big claw up in front of his face, wailing. Doesn't realize he can get out of this room.
Okay. I am content with that.
Lucius, closing the hole. Arcane lock.
Yeah, no. I'm gonna take a step back into this hallway here,
Sure.
and I'm gonna radiant action. If this halfling gets up on Gustavus, then I'm going to hit him with an Eldritch Blast.
Okay. It's going to bring us to Gus.
Gus is going to get out. He's going to close the door and hold it shut.
How are you holding it shut?
Just bracing my shoulder against it. Like with all of my weight.
So are you like kneeling down at the ground? Because the tunnel's down at ground level.
Yeah, I'm like leaned up against, like with my back up against it, my feet kind of in the ground, just kind of.
So your back, not your shoulder.
Right, yeah, we'll say my back.
All right, that's fine. And it's going to bring us to Alexander.
Let's move to here, pull a piton out of my pack, and start hammering this thing shut as Gustavus holds it.
So you're pounding a climbing spike into the floor so it can't open?
Yep.
Okay. And you managed to do that?
And let's see. I moved 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 25.
Secret.
As a bonus
think that
action, I'm making 3 magic stones.
Okay.
Fellas, I think that was our halfling.
Seeker, you're up.
I'm good. I'm just going to like if he manages to push his way through that iron grate, I'm going to cast Toll the Dead on him.
Okay. There is a loud crash sound and a loud thud that shakes through Gustavus's body as the creature on the other side crashes into the door, but the spike holds and Gustavus's heavy weight, and then the crash is just persistent over and over and over again against this door.
How strong does this halfling feel?
You'd have to move out of the way of the door to find that out.
I'm good, thank you.
Florian.
Florian is going to hold an action. He's going to cast Ray of Frost on this creature if it breaks through Gus's strength.
Okay. Lucius?
Same held action except for Eldritch Blast.
Gus?
All right, Gus is going to get prone,
Yep.
and he's going to kind of go over here.
So, what? Solid snake crawl up there?
Right, because apparently everybody's going to
Blast this fucker.
just blast this guy,
Okay.
and I guess I'll hold an action to throw a dagger at him.
Okay.
Or an axe. I'll throw my hand axe.
As you move out of the way, the crashing persists, but the door holds. You've got one climbing spike here, so this corner of the metal plate starts to bend a little bit under each crash.
Holy shit, that's scary.
Alexander?
Yeah, let's do the same ready to action with a magic stone.
Can we...
And Seeker, same held action?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, and the thing does, in fact, breach through the door as part of the metal plate, bends upward, and this halfling reaches out with his hand and pulls himself through towards Lucius, and that triggers like 47 held actions. You guys can fight over what order this happens, and I don't want any part of this.
I'll wait.
Magic Stone hits a 24
That hits.
for 11 magical bludgeon damage.
Who else is attacking my poor innocent halfling?
Your
I would
halfling
love him to
was
make me a wisdom
scary.
saving throw.
Wisdom saving throw.
Yeah.
18.
Ah, he passes.
I don't get it. Last campaign, you guys made friends with the pig people.
That is a 24 to hit on Ray of Frost.
That hits.
He takes 4 damage.
Okay.
It's a 14 to hit from my axe.
That hits.
Okay. That's 5 points slashing.
Okay.
Eldritch Blast hits a 24, 6 points of force damage.
And I'm just gonna say that none of you know which attack killed it. But the thing's arm reaches out, and soon its head reaches out, and as it's pulling itself through, you guys let loose. And as the thing dies, it looks less and less like a halfling, and more like a slaughtered pig, until even the skin around the pig sloughs away. And inside, instead of blood, organs, and bones, is just this mass of insects, which begins skittering away in all directions. Some back into the tunnel, some up the road towards Gromp's room, and some down past Lucius's boots.
Does this look like what happened to Drew?
Yep.
Except for Drudolph didn't turn into a pig first.
Yeah. Might not have had time for that.
Did
Was
the
it is this
pig hit-
cockroaches or what type of insect?
Cockroaches.
Yeah, it's the exact same thing.
Grump, we killed it.
There's been no change in Grump's demeanor.
I'm
We'll
gonna
bill
retrieve
you.
my spike.
Thought you
Man.
pry it out of the floor.
I wanted to make bugbear friend.
Should we leave this behind us, or should we
I'm
see where that
curious to
came
kind
from?
of explore that cave.
Yeah, I'd normally go in the front, but I twisted my ankle a bit when I got dropped.
I'll send Tony in front.
Okay.
And Tony's kind of hopping along the front.
He's gonna hop it around the ground.
You guys measure about 2 or 3 feet between each of these hooped spikes in the walls, and you realize they're not a uniform distance apart. It doesn't look like somebody came in here with a surveyor and spaced them apart exactly 44 inches, but it looks like about 2 or 3 feet. You count... They took one out of the wall, so you count 91 of them. The tunnel does not deviate from its path appreciably. It does not turn. It goes straight ahead. It seems to retain its grade. And then it ends very abruptly in a dead end. It does widen very slightly at the end. Maybe 6 or 8 inches in all directions, so it's kind of a small, tiny circular chamber.
Yeah.
And you see 3 or 4 more of these hooked spikes in the ceiling of this chamber and in the floor that are not aligned with the ones coming down the tunnel.
Huh.
What was the grade?
Negligible.
Okay.
Does it look like? Is there any like refuse or anything to indicate that that pig halfling thing was just chilling here, or
There's not.
is there just
no.
like?
He was in the tunnel, but you don't find any signs that he's been like living in here or pooping in here or eating in here.
I'm gonna just investigate down near the end to see if there's any like secret passages or something that we're missing.
Okay, and you go over the end of the tunnel. Roll a investigation check.
Go ahead and take a cigarette, and I'm going to aid on that.
You really want to put a cigarette in your mouth in these closed quarters? There's very little.
I would love to put a cigarette in my mouth.
Okay.
That is a 26.
And yeah, you give them a good once over. You got the 4 hooped spikes. 2 of them are in the ceiling above you as the tunnel kind of comes to an end. 2 are in the floor below you as the tunnel comes to an end. And you go over the whole thing, and it's rough stone walls. You can't be certain exactly when this was dug out, but you do find a lot of sharp angles, which suggests it might have been dug relatively recently. But no secret entrances, no doors.
All right.
When we go back to the, or you want to go back?
Yeah.
When we get back to the, the entrance to this tunnel, I'll let Seeker go out.
Okay.
I want to go to the second of these spikes, and I would like to take this out to see if another halfling appears. So is there a way I can do that with my thieves' tools as opposed to brute strength?
Thieves' tools wouldn't do it. A crowbar would be useful.
I've got a crowbar.
Yeah, you can, with a crowbar and a little bit of elbow grease, you pry it free from the wall. It takes a little bit of work, but it pops out. And you wait a second, and no other halfling appears.
All right. Well, the good news is there are not 90 more halflings coming for us.
91.
Fabulous.
Right. Well, more, and if one was coming right now, there'd be 90 more.
And enough
All right,
time has
well-
passed now that Grump's wailing in the back in the previous room is kind of lower down to just a low mumble now.
Let's keep making our way.
Yeah. Lucius makes room for Gustavus to get ahead of him.
Gus, you want to go first?
Yeah, I'm all about that going first life.
Hey, Gus, you want to go ahead of you?
Lucius
Hey,
has
Gus.
got your back, buddy.
As you start moving forward, Alex will take his hat off and put it on you. Just in case.
Remember,
Gus, stop there. Looking into this hallway here, off to the right, there's a set of stairs. Only 8 or 9 of them, ascending just a small amount. And at the top of them, it's not a doorway, but there's a passageway that you can't see through. It's blocked off, but not with a solid door. It's blocked off by like strands of beads dangling from the ceiling down to the floor. Looking off to your right, you see what looks like a tidy and well-kept little storeroom. There are boxes of material sitting on what you can tell are newly built wooden pallets on stilts, some 6 or 8 inches above the floor. There's no water standing in this room, but there's evidence on the walls of this room having been flooded to at least half height. So maybe 3-4 feet up the wall. On the shelves, you see non-perishable foodstuffs, a few barrels of fresh water, some crab traps, some of which are full, others are not, with regular little harmless crabs in them. You see a small locked wardrobe in the corner of the room back here. Next to it is a locked glass cabinet that contains sealed ceramic jars, various bits and bobs, which you take to be spell components, considering you live with 4 magicians.
So, you guys, I'll watch the door. You go ahead and do your...
In this corner, back here, is a table. Laying on it are some, what looks like a folded up sail, like would appear on a ship. On top of it is a very long loop of what looks like very thin rope. And next to it, kind of sitting on top of the sail and next to this loop of rope, are 2 rectangular boxes. You guys have
The
a
rope.
light source, right?
Yeah.
I can pull out a coin.
The rope is smooth and thin, and you realize it's not rope at all, but a long length of fuse. The boxes sitting next to them are black, covered in black lacquer, and they're emblazoned on the front with rose-colored filigree that takes the shape of 2 hands, one laying over the top of the other. So a pretty well-stocked little room. What do you guys break?
Somebody get some magic eyes on this stuff. I'm going to try my hand with these locked chests. So I'll start with dresser.
Wardrobe pick? Go ahead and make that check.
Is this a dexterity thieves tools?
Yeah.
I'll cast Detect Magic.
Okay. Are you
I can
casting
do it.
as a ritual, or are you taking 10 minutes?
Yeah, I'm gonna take the 10 minutes.
Okay, what is everybody else doing for the 10 minutes?
Lucius is going to keep an eye down this hallway.
Here, let me
The
step
others are
first.
visiting.
Let me step one space in front of you.
Just in case there's a trap. We wouldn't want to break his perfect record.
Yeah, Lucius is going to keep watch down in this direction.
Okay. So
Listen.
yeah, at the top of the stairs, you've got this just beaded. You guys have all seen like the beaded hippie drapes, right?
Yeah.
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 That's a 20 on thieves tools.
Yeah, and you pop the wardrobe open, and opening it up, inside, are just a few changes of clothes for a human male, most of which are common, but one of which is... You're a nobleman yourself. It's made of silk, and it's this very ostentatious purple, and it screams new money to you.
Is there any like a sigil or a feel anything on it anywhere? Maybe jewelry.
There's no jewelry in here, but going over it, you do see embroidered on the front of this tunic, on the left breast, is the small sigil of the flying pig that you recognize.
Okay.
Okay. At that, Florian goes over and starts preparing his ritual identify
Okay.
this tunic.
While he's doing that, I'll pop open the glass case.
Okay. Go ahead and give me that Dex Thieves tools. Or did you mean you're just smashing the glass?
No.
I can do that. I have a hammer.
Dex sleeve stools because he wants to catch the glass.
Oh,
as it
there's 20.
falls.
Okay. Yeah, you open it up, and inside you find all the things that I mentioned. Sealed ceramic jars, things that you recognize as spell components. You also see a small workstation with a set of alchemist's tools.
Mm-hmm.
And Seeker, your spell goes off. Detect magic. The chest containing the spell components gives you the very faint reading of their magical properties that work inside of a spell.
Yep.
The sail and the two lacquered boxes are radiating very strong magic. The sail is radiating very powerful abjuration magic.
Okay.
And the two boxes, I actually don't know.
Oh,
I have to look
Actually-
that up.
so cast identify on the boxes too.
You still
So
can.
Once I saw that tunic, I was like, bang.
Is the tunic magical?
No.
Then I'll tell.
All right, then yeah, Florian shifts to casting identify on the boxes.
So the boxes themselves are radiating abjuration and evocation magic.
All right.
Are
While
you
he's
trained in
casting-
Arcana?
Yes, I am.
Make that Arcana check.
Alrighty.
Go ahead and take a cigarette, too.
I'd love to. That's a 25.
Okay. The abjuration magic on this box, whatever is in this box is dangerous, and that magic is keeping it sealed in.
Okay.
And then, Florian, you're casting Identify on one of the boxes?
Yeah.
Okay.
While he's casting Identify on the box, I'll be casting it on the sail.
Okay. You guys, you doing this as a ritual, so we have another 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad that I spent the money to copy this from your book the other day.
Okay. You guys watching the beads. What's puzzling to you, especially you, Lucius, because you have like perfect vision in darkness and low light conditions. You can't see beyond the beads. You know there's a space back there, but you can't see any detail in it.
Yeah. I'll mention that to Gustavus.
Do you want to?
Gustavus
Maybe we
charges in.
should. No, maybe we should take the beads with us when we go.
Maybe we should leave them undisturbed for the time being.
I said when we go.
Can I go through the spell components and see if there's anything that's valuable? Like any valuable spell components opposed to the common ones?
There's not. These are common for just low-level, day-to-day alchemy stuff. Make an investigation check, though, if you're going through all of them.
Yep. It's only a 14.
14. In addition to the spell components, you come across a couple of small blocks of bright orange sealing wax.
Feel like that's familiar and maybe sentient.
Seeker, you're casting Identify on the box, yes?
On the sail.
On the sail. So Florian,
Florian
you're
was casting
casting
on the box.
Yes,
Florian, you are a wizard, right?
that is correct, sir.
The box... Seeker tells you it's meant to contain something dangerous. And the box itself is meant to hold an extremely hot fire If you open this box, the fire will escape from it. There's nothing... It's not locked. There's just a little latch. You just move out of the way and open it up. And that would be a very bad idea, because that would break the abjuration on the box, and whatever fire is inside would be unleashed. Seeker. Casting on the sails. If you were to take one of these sails, and now that you're up close to it, you can see that they're not actually sails. They're just large sheets of cloth, the texture of which is extremely strange to the touch. But if you were to take it and unfurl it and speak the command word, which you now know, one for each of the two sails here, they'll hold their shape for about 10 seconds, and no force, physical or magical, can move them in that time, after which they will disintegrate.
Okay. How big are they?
You take one out and unfold it, a good 15 feet square, maybe. They're huge.
Okay. That seems useful, but I'm not sure that it'll be easy for us to carry.
No, they're big and bulky. I mean, you can get them out of here without issue, but whoever's carrying them is going to be...
Let's keep it in mind, just in case. So, have you guys seen anything explosive? Because a giant fuse shaped like a rope near a bunch of circles in the walls makes me a little concerned.
And Florian points to the boxes and explains the fire inside them and the abjuration magic, and opening the box would let it all loose.
It's not,
So-
it won't explode,
No, I
though.
haven't
It just lets loose the fire.
I haven't seen an explosive. I have prevented a man with this sigil from purchasing explosives, however.
Didn't you say one of the boxes had evocation magic and one had abjuration?
They both had abjuration and evocation.
Okay, all right.
So, I think the question we should be asking is, what is that chamber under? And I'm going to kind of like head over there and try to like do the math in my head, and then send Tony out the front mouth of the cave to go find out what that chamber is underneath, and then come back and report back.
Give me a... It's going to be very difficult, even with Tony's help.
Yeah.
Give me a DC 25 perception check.
Okay.
Yeah, you can have a cigarette for that.
Nah, that's a fail.
So, I mean, you guys, given the twists and turns of the initial cave that you came in,
Yeah.
Climbing up these cliffs and having this tunnel going this way and that way, what did you actually get? What was the actual score?
I got a 15.
15?
Yeah.
The distance of it tells you that it would stretch underneath, assuming you know that you have the direction. You're pretty sure of the direction, because you have your bird up overhead. Assuming you got the direction right, a tunnel that long would lead underneath Broken Wall, underneath the actual wall itself, and into the city proper.
Okay. But not
So-
exactly sure what.
You're not exactly
So-
sure what's overhead. For that, you'd have to bring
Seeker,
in
I've
a
got-
surveyor.
I've got proficiency with cartographer's tools. I would just need to get the tools and come back here.
That would
All right,
definitely
so
help.
we can figure that out when
Yeah.
need be, but I think we've got the basis of a plan here.
Yep.
And how does that... How does that...
What was in the glass case?
Glass case was spell components and sealing wax.
Is it like a lot of spell components or like just a few types?
Standard day-to-day stuff.
Okay.
Nothing valuable.
The kind that you would need to imbue sentient, like malevolent sentience to an envelope?
Yeah, it was less a what is this valuable and more a can I tell what spells they were trying to cast? But if it's like a ton of stuff, then don't worry about it.
Okay, what's next?
Well, I'm going to go right up to 5 feet away from the the beads.
Okay.
Like not right up, not face to face on it, but like give me 5 feet.
Okay, so
And
you're
then-
walking up the stairs?
Oh, there's stairs. Yes.
Yeah, your stairs going up. All right, cool. Make a dexterity saving throw.
Awesome. I'm terrible at these. That is a 6.
6.
You die instantly, no save.
Now you're a crab.
9
That was a
points
save.
of piercing damage. As you step on the last stair and put your weight on it, you hear a crack for a second. Before you can step away, the stair splits open down the middle, swinging away from the center mass, and the horrible bear trap embedded in the wall on each side clamps shut on your leg, and you
You
find
hear-
yourself stuck fast.
You hear Gus screaming various profanities you did not know existed.
And after his
Excellent.
screams echo down the hall, you can hear the wailing screams of the terrified bugbear a few rooms back.
Like some,
That's a nasty looking bear trap. I don't know if I'll be able to get you out of that one, guys.
get it off.
Lucius, with his 6 strength, bends down and tries to pry it out. Pry his leg
So,
open.
if you attempt to pry it out and fail, it's going to snap shut on your fingers. Are you willing to risk that?
Yeah.
I don't know. Let me do it. Like let will you assist me and I can do it?
Fine.
Yes.
Let me be very clear about what's going to happen looking at this bear trap. If you attempt to pry it open and fail, it's going to snap shut on your fingers. And when it does that, your fingers are going to snip off, because that's what's going to happen next.
Okay.
Yeah, not gonna do that. I'm sorry.
Here's a crowbar.
Alex.
Here's a crowbar, A, and B, a cigarette. This one doesn't even. There's no magic in it. It's just to calm him down.
Gus
Oh,
woke up this morning, his armor was missing, and he said, you know what? Whatever. At least I'm not going to have to dig.
That's the what kind of roll?
Are you using the crowbar?
Yeah.
It's going to be a strength check at advantage.
All right. That is a.
Throw the D4 on there.
Oh, okay.
And you also lose your your advantage because
Because you're
Yeah.
exhausted.
Oh, okay. Well then, I should probably re-roll it because I rolled advantage.
Okay. No, don't roll at advantage. Just one die.
Yeah. Right. 1 die. So we're gonna. So that is a